Why are so many families moving to Lake Oswego? Well, frankly, it's because of this.
And this.
And this. Hey everybody, I'm Aaron Cullen. This is Brianna Cullen, and we're gonna get into why are families moving to Lake Oswego.
We moved our family to Lake Oswego to raise our kids here. We're helping other clients do the same thing every day. So today we're gonna talk about why so many families love living right here in Lake O.
So the number one reason people are choosing to move to Lake Oswego are the schools. Now, the schools here are amazing, and I'm talking about the public schools. There are private options as well that are excellent, but if you're looking for a great public school option for your family, Lake Oswego should be right up there in your list.
I totally agree. I think especially for people who are moving from metropolitans where public schools are not always a great option, and so they really have to think about private school or being very choosy about the neighborhoods they live in. It's a real win to be able to move to a great town like this and know that you can send your kids to top-rated schools in the state from kindergarten up through high school, public schools.
Yeah, and Lake Oswego School District is continually ranked in the top 3 in the whole state of Oregon. So it battles out with Westland and Sherwood.
Our oldest child is 4.5, so we haven't gotten to partake of these schools yet, but we're looking forward to it. I know, honey, you cannot wait to walk our kids down the street to the elementary school that is walking distance from our house. So we're super excited to get into the public school district here. Right now, we send our kids to an amazing preschool, a French immersion school here in Lake Oswego. So there are a lot of different kinds of options from, preschool all the way up. Like Aaron mentioned, there are private schools as well, but the public school district here is top notch. And so that's a major reason why families move to Lake Oswego and love being in Lake Oswego.
Yeah, I can't say enough about the school district and the feedback that I've gotten about talking to people that live here and have kids going to the school system. Of course, you're always going to have people that don't like it, any school system you go to. And I really personally believe, school for your kids, especially when you get to like that elementary school, it also is a part of, what the families, the adults are putting into that. And the participation here is really high from what I've seen.
Yeah, absolutely. So another reason why so many families are moving to Lake Oswego is because so many families live in Lake Oswego, and it becomes this really virtuous cycle in a way. It's a very family-oriented community. The types of homes that are here, because of the great schools, because of the people that live here, it's so many people in this same phase of life who are raising their families from young kids up through high school, and all of that feeds into each other. It's great to be around other families in the same phase of life. It creates a dynamic where you're running into people out and about in town. We send our daughter to a local ballet school, and so we're always seeing those ballet families at the farmers market. We see people from preschool at swimming lessons. All the families are involved in these same types of activities, and so it just continues to create a more and more family-friendly vibe.
The town really is extremely family friendly. It's going to be hard to get that across on video. There's so many different events that the town puts on, and most of them are very, very family friendly.
So in the summer right now, on Wednesday evenings, there are concerts at a number of locations around town, different parks where families can come, have a picnic, enjoy the live music. And then there are also movies in the parks. So, early evening, families bring picnic blankets out and watch some kind of family-friendly film together outdoors. Summers here are so beautiful, so especially in the summertime, you'll find a lot of activities for families to make the most of outside.
Yeah.
And then throughout the year, things like, to me, things that scream like wholesome family adventure are going berry picking, picking out your pumpkin at the pumpkin patch, the strawberry festival, going to get a Christmas tree. Those festive year-round seasonal activities really add to the family-friendly
Yep.
nature. The first year we lived here, my sister and her family came to visit us for Thanksgiving, and we went down to the tree lighting ceremony in Millennium Park Plaza. And my sister said, I feel like this is a Hallmark movie. Everything about this town is just so charming and heartwarming. And at the tree lighting ceremony, they were giving out hot chocolate, and there were carolers, and the firefighters are there handing out, fire hats for all the kids. And like, it really is so much to offer when you're at that stage of life.
Yeah, and our daughter, every time she sees a fire truck, she's like, oh, can I get a hat? I want to get a hat. And just FYI tip, they run out of hats at the events very quickly. So if you see one and they're handing them out, get in line to go get one, because they seem to last for about 10-15 minutes, and then they only bring so many to each
And then you
event.
might get a junior firefighter sticker, but it's not a hat.
Right, exactly. So friendly tip. Next, we have nature. I mean, look around us. Look where we are right now. We're on a hiking trail, walking trail, right along George Rogers Park. I mean, this trail is awesome. It borders right along the Willamette. When we're on the west side, the Lake Oswego side, right across the other side is Milwaukee.
And this is right in town. So even though it looks like we're out in the forest, out in the woods, we are. Lake Oswego is very protective of its trees and its nature. And so it's very green throughout town. And this park itself, right on the Willamette River, is really right in town. So walking distance to Whole Foods and breweries and restaurants is right where we are right now.
Yeah.
All throughout Lake Oswego are parks and hiking trails like this.
29 different parks in Lake Oswego alone. And that's not even counting the school parks where they have playgrounds for the kids that you can take advantage of.
Exactly. So to me, just the natural beauty. We have deer going through our backyard. Our kids love that. We can walk to blackberry picking from our house, coming down to the river and the beach in the summertime. Adds huge benefits to our quality of life.
Yeah, and we both work from home, so being able to take advantage of things like this, that's literally just 5 minutes down the street, hop in the car, go. And a lot of the trails are going to be walking distance to your house, and that's one of the huge things I didn't totally realize before I moved here, because there was no videos like this kind of giving tips about it. But we discovered after about 6 months of living in our house, we're in the Palisades, that there's an amazing trail, hiking trail, walking distance to our house that's kind of hidden on a dead end, and that connects to the trails that goes over to Lusher Farm. So no matter where you live in Lake Oswego, you're gonna be walking distance to some kind of trail or park.
Yeah, I think finding that trail, I found it on a jog one day from our house. I saw like a little trailhead sign, and I was like, what is that? And I realized it was an entrance to Cooks Butte Park. And that is such a perfect example of how many things I appreciate so much about Lake Oswego that adds so much joy to my daily life that I didn't even know I was getting when we moved here.
Yeah, no, I didn't either. You just kind of see how close you are to the countryside and just how beautiful it is. Driving around Lake Oswego, there's tons of trees, and that's something also just to be aware of. When you're moving here, certain parts of Lake Oswego, certain neighborhoods have way more trees than others. Some people don't like that. They want a little bit more clearing. They might want a little bit more of the traditional suburban kind of feel, where there's less trees separating you and your neighbors. And some people might want that bigger lot with more trees, so it's harder to see your neighbors. So if that's something on your mind, definitely reach out to me. My information's right down there below.
Yeah, I think that's a great point just in general. Each neighborhood in Lake Oswego has pros and cons. Each neighborhood is really great, but they all kind of have a little bit different feel. And so coming out for a visit, seeing a few houses in different neighborhoods, getting Aaron's insight on which might be the perfect pocket for you is really the way to go.
Yeah. Next on our list is safety. Lake Oswego is ranked right up there in one of the safest towns in Oregon. The crime rate is extremely, extremely low when you compare it to Portland. And a lot of things contribute to that. One, I think, is having a tight-knit local community who talks to their neighbors, keeps on top of the things. Plus, we have our own police force here. which is a huge reason, huge influence. And we have our own fire department, we have our own mayor, our own city council. So everybody usually lives also in Lake Oswego, that also works for the city. So I think that all those things kind of contribute to creating this really friendly, safe environment.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think neighbors looking out for each other and just that tight-knit feeling, people that have lived here for years and years, everyone's looking out for each other. You know, everyone on our cul-de-sac is checking in. Even things like, you know, we do have all these trees and we have nature. So things like a coyote being out and neighbors warning each other that like, hey, bring your pets inside. Like that all adds to safe feeling.
No, that's true. And when there's any kind of more natural disaster type things, we had an ice storm a couple winters ago and it knocked everybody's power out. You know, everyone in our little cul-de-sac were, you know, checking in on each other. We had a text message thread going. People were sharing firewood if you needed it to stay warm, or inviting them over if someone had heat and the other one didn't. So all those things really add to that like tight-knit community and the safety and feeling like other people, you know, are looking out for you, you know, which they are. You know, people here are very friendly. So all those things really feed into it being a very safe place to live and for your family and your kids.
And I think the last item on our list for today is the proximity to Portland. So Lake Oswego has all of this going for it as a town in its own right, but the city of Portland is just 15, 20 minutes away. And so you also have all of the amenities that come with that, like a great airport that can take you wherever you want to go, museums, healthcare, anything that a big city offers, you know, great food, great cultural experiences, more diversity.
All those things are amazing, great points of just that proximity and all the pluses of the big city that this little town has to offer. One of the things I hear from my clients a lot is having that proximity to an international airport. Portland is big enough to enable you to be anywhere in the US or the world. You might have one connecting flight, but it's still big enough to get you anywhere you want to go. Plus, the Portland International Airport is an amazingly quick and easy airport to navigate through, with lots of cool little shops and stuff. As far as airports go, it's high on my list because, hey, boom, you know, there's one parking area. It's kind of more of like a loop. All the terminals are like right there.
I haven't been anywhere in 3 years, so it's hard to remember, but it is very easy.
Yeah.
And it actually reminds me of one bonus item that I want to add to this video, which is not in Lake Oswego itself, but everything you have access to within, you know, a couple of hours drive from Lake Oswego. I know this is a huge draw and something that so many families, including us, take advantage of is, you know, getting to the mountains, going to Mount Hood. I have some friends that are going camping there with their kids this weekend. Getting to the...
Oh, who is it? Should we be going?
Link's family.
Oh, man.
I know.
We should invite ourselves.
I know. And then getting to the beach. So the Oregon coast is so beautiful, and it's so great for families and kids because it's not packed, it's open. Our kids can run along the beach, run through the tide pools, play. It's so gorgeous. And then you also have everything else within Oregon and then right up into Washington. So the eastern part of Oregon over to Bend, all of the outdoors, all the rivers, the lakes, the waterfalls, the hiking, just so close to Lake Oswego. So I haven't had to go to the airport for 3 years, which is good because we haven't been able to, but we've still been able to get away and have a feeling of, you know, going on vacation, getting away just 90 minutes from our house.
That's right. And all of these things contribute to why Lake Oswego is so family friendly and why families are moving here. I mean, you really don't have to go anywhere else. The only other place we would have liked to go on this winter was probably somewhere warm like Hawaii or down to Southern California. So this winter, we're thinking our kids are finally going to be old enough that we could brave an airline flight and go to Disneyland perhaps. And I think maybe they'll get a little enjoyment out of it. Our son will be 2 years old by then, and our daughter will be 5. So I think it'll be more manageable.
Yeah, get some sunshine in like the February time frame after we've been cooped up in the rainy season.
All right, well, I hope you've gotten a little bit of insight from this video. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'm a local real estate agent. My information's right down there in the description area. All right, guys, see you on the next one.